Deebo Samuel is a Washington Commander, and I cannot believe it here, Commanders Nation. Let's get into it right now, but before we talk about Deebo Samuel, we talk about the implications that he is going to be bringing to the Washington Commanders offense heading into the 2025 season. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now, because I have been saying since Deebo Samuel requested a trade that this was the ideal landing spot for him, and even just yesterday on our show, I talked about how this made sense, and by the way, my proposed trade, a 5th round pick, which is exactly what it ended up happening. So if you want all this extensive Commanders coverage this offseason, if you want to know what the Commanders are going to be doing before they do it, we just predicted this trade exactly on our show yesterday. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now. And man, this is a good feeling if you are a Washington Commanders fan right now, because Deebo Samuel is on his way to the nation's capital, joining forces with Terry McLaurin in the Commanders wide receiver room, and of course, second-year quarterback Jayden Daniels, giving him a new weapon and giving Cliff Kingsbury another versatile chess piece to use on his offense, and I am absolutely juiced for this pairing. I have been saying since he requested a trade from San Francisco, guys, if you've been watching the channel, that I think that he would be a perfect fit for Cliff Kingsbury's offense, because we know how much Cliff leans into the wide receiver screen game, especially on early downs. Deebo Samuel is one of the best screen-type wide receivers in the National Football League, one of the best in terms of yards after the catch of any wide receiver in the league. Of course, he's one of the best run blockers as well, so if you want to throw a screen to Terry McLaurin, you got Deebo Samuel blocking for him out there on the perimeter. Good luck trying to block and get around him. And then also, you can line him up in the backfield as well. We saw Cliff Kingsbury use a lot of 2 running back sets where he put multiple people in the backfield. You can put Deebo Samuel back there. You can move him from like the slot, shift him back over to Jayden Daniels before the snap. Like, there's so many fun things that you could do with Deebo Samuel. Orbit motions, jet sweeps, move him across the formation at the snap. Like, there's so many fun things you can do with Deebo Samuel because of the skill set that he brings to the table, the size, the speed, the versatility, the run blocking, and of course the instincts with the ball in his hands. It's something that's really, really rare. And you might be sitting at home saying, Jack, this is somebody that is almost 30, and he did not have the best season of his career last year. Should we be worried, especially because the Commanders are taking on the rest of his contract here, and the 49ers are not taking on any of the remaining money on his deal? Well, what I'll say to that is that Deebo last year was asked to be more of a true number 1 receiver with Brandon Ayuk out for most of the season. And I think Deebo is better as a secondary piece that's used as a versatile kind of weapon on offense, moving him around the formation, all these different things. And Cliff is going to use him in the right way. He clearly has a vision for him, which is why he implored Dan Quinn and Adam Peters to go out and make this move, because he can do so many cool things both pre and post snap with Deebo Samuel. And the reason why I love this fit so much, guys, is Deebo doesn't have to be the number 1 guy. Terry McLaurin is your do-it-all alpha type wide receiver. He can be a deep threat. Of course, he's great after the catch, great route runner. Whatever you need Terry McLaurin to do, he's going to be able to do it. But then Deebo Samuel, he provides versatility in a bunch of different ways that are going to just make this Commanders offense that much more dangerous. And I think a common criticism of Deebo is he's not the best route runner, and that is true. He does not really create separation against man coverage with most of the routes that he runs. But the one route that he actually does run really, really well, guys, and I think he's going to run this a lot in the Commanders offense, is dig routes. So those are intermediate in-breaking routes that are usually on the backside of a quarterback's progression. And Jayden Daniels showed last year that he's really good at getting to those backside digs, and that's one of the telltale signs of some of the best mental processors in the National Football League. Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, for that matter, just made a killing on these dig routes over the middle of the field with Brock Purdy as their quarterback. Jayden Daniels is more than capable of getting to the backside of his progression there, hitting Deebo Samuel when he's running those intermediate in-breakers. And also what that does is that those are runaway routes, guys. So you get the ball to Deebo Samuel in his hands in space, and he is a freight train when he gets going. So I think that this is going to be an absolute big play machine for this Washington Commanders offense, especially because you have to give so much attention to Terry McLaurin as the true alpha type number 1 on the outside. now you're going to have to, know where Deebo Samuel is. Where is he shifting before the snap? Where is he lining up? Is he going in motion before the snap? Where is he going? Like, there's going to be so many things for defenses to have to figure out pre-snap going up against this Commanders offense. It's going to be so hard to deal with Jaden Daniels and his versatile skill set as both a great passer and as a great rusher. And then you got Terry McLaurin on the outside, a true number one threat. And now you got Deebo Samuel, who's going to be an absolute yak monster that's going to be used in a versatile type of role within this Cliff Kingsbury offense, which is very creative with the way they use their offensive pieces. So I am absolutely jacked up for this, especially because Adam Peters got him for exactly what I said I would offer for him. I said I would offer a 5th round pick, and I wouldn't offer any more. And I think that we kind of nailed that one right on the head, and that's why you click that subscribe button, by the way. But I think that this is exactly the right value for a player like Deebo Samuel. He's not going to be your number one guy. He does have limitations, some limitations with his game. He's not a do-it-all type of receiver, but I think he adds another element to this Commanders offense that maybe it wasn't quite all the way there in 2024. Now you add another ingredient to this mixture of just this really tough offense to have to figure out. Also, I think another great benefit of this is that not only do you have your number 1 and number 2 receivers heading into 2025, but I still think it leaves the door open. And in fact, I really want the Commanders to still take a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. All right, now you have to get the right value there, but Terry's not getting any younger. I think he's going to get his extension this offseason, and he deserves it. But he's not getting any younger, and then Deebo is certainly not getting any younger either. So you need to get younger at the position, and I think slotting in a really talented potential future number 1 receiver in as your number 3 receiver this year is kind of the ideal situation for that young receiver. Not too much pressure is going to be put on him right away. He's going to be able to learn from 2 of some of the best receivers in the game over the last 5 seasons in Terry McLaurin and, of course, Deebo Samuel. So I think it's a perfect situation for a talented young player to interject himself into this offense. And then if that player pans out, you've got one of the most dangerous wide receiver trios on the entire planet here in Washington with Jaden freaking Daniels throwing them the football. I mean, if you're not excited about this potential of the offense that we're going to be seeing here in Washington after what we saw last year, I mean, you don't have a pulse, all right? You are not somebody that's alive right now, because I think that this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I have so much enthusiasm and optimism about Deebo Samuel having a bounce-back season this year in the type of role he's going to play in this offense. And now, obviously, this is just going to be the first move in a series of big moves that I expect from Adam Peters over the next 2 weeks. Of course, free agency starts in about 10 days here, and I expect them to be very busy. They're going to have a lot of cap space at their disposal. And I think they're going to be kicking the tires on a potential Myles Garrett trade. And then, they got to get better at corner. They got to get better on the defensive line. We're going to see what happens with Jonathan Allen, who, by the way, was not involved in this trade, which was a little surprising to me. San Francisco could use interior defensive line help, but they ended up just coming up with the 5th round pick, and that's it in this deal. So, the defense certainly is going to be the main thing that I think needs to get better. The offense was already really, really good last year. I think this move makes them better, but I do think it's going to be important to see what Dan Quinn and Adam Peters are able to come up with over the next couple of weeks in terms of how they make their defense better. Who are they going to get as an edge rusher? Are they going to be bringing in another defensive tackle in free agency? I'm pretty sure they're going to sign some sort of corner to play alongside, of course, Mike Sainristil and Marshawn Lattimore for next season. And then how are they going to approach the draft? I think it's going to be a very, very fun offseason here. This is just getting started here on the Commanders Report, guys. So make sure you click that subscribe button, because every time that there's breaking news, I could be on my day off here watching the combine, whatever, and if breaking news hits like it did today, I'm going to get a video out to you guys as soon as I possibly can. Thank you guys for all of your support. I will see you guys later. Deebo Samuel is a Washington Commander. We will talk about it more for sure on Monday. And we got another video coming out tomorrow. We've got a Commanders mock draft that we're going to be putting out tomorrow as well. So enjoy that. I'll see you guys on Monday. And until then, hail to the Commanders.